Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going to be covering the stat priorities for the medallions coming to the game soon. We have Cloud Wanderers, and then a few days after that we will have the Witches. We'll do the Witches in a different video, so without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. For Cloud Wanderers, the first one is the Teodor. Now Teodor is primarily a damage dealer. There's not much more to his kit. However, the niche with Teodor is he starts the battle off, especially if he's awakened, with, I believe it's 6 stacks of guaranteed crit rate. So you are going to do crit damage no matter what at the beginning of the battle. So in that regard, I do believe that crit damage chance is a lower priority for this hero, because by the time you do get around to his second attempt to deal damage to the enemy, all the Cloud Wanderers have normally got their buffs out, so he's pretty beefed up at that point. So I'd focus more on critical damage and attack damage for this hero. Attack damage is also going to help his static charges and the damage they deal. Health steal, I feel like, is going to be important on this hero. Again, he's dealing a lot of damage. For a damage dealer, you obviously have a lot out there in terms of damage dealers who, you know, their kits are very extensive in what they do. Teodor is just one of those main damage dealers. Like his goal is just pure damage. So I think health steal is a little bit more important on this hero than critical damage chance, and then finally critical damage chance. Critical damage chance is not going to harm you in any way. It's still going to be important. But when you mix in characters like Astoria as well, and yeah, it's just a little less valuable than the other stats. Up next, we have Bliss. Now, Bliss, a very interesting hero in the way he works. You're looking at critical damage chance, crit damage, attack damage, and health steal. This character has the means to get a lot of damage out, even when it's not his turn, through the... I forget what it's called. He applies a debuff on the enemy that allows him to continuously strike them. So, yeah, like I said, when it's not even his turn, he's going to be able to be getting damage out, and through that, you are going to be getting health back if you do have health steal. I have it the lowest on the list because damage is still going to override everything else. It's going to be more important killing someone than getting a little bit of health back. There is no need for any type of damage reduction on this hero. Bliss has, again, with the debuff that he's able to apply to the enemy, completely avoid attacks from the enemy. So damage reduction is a bit wasted on him. There's very few chances where he's going to be actually damaged to the point where damage reduction is going to be worth it. He's quite protected in the way his skills work. So focus on that damage and allow him to do what he's going to do and just snipe enemies and hopefully take them out. Thirdly, we have Capfei, the most influential Cloud Wanderer out of them all. Now, on the screen, I've built him as a hybrid. Critical damage chance, critical damage, damage reduction, hit points. The way Cloud Wanderers work, it's kind of interesting. The way the AI fights them, they will always target Astoria first. They will ignore Eva on the most part. They will always target Astoria if they can bypass or it wears off the Ramfort taunt. And then after Astoria, they will go for Capfei. So in that sense, you can build him tanky with the additional damage. But Capfei excels in 2 roles, both as a support unit and a damage dealer. So there's no harm in focusing on one of those areas. If you value him more as a support unit than you do a damage dealer, then by all means you can get rid of the damage substats and go pure tank. If you value him more as a damage dealer over a support unit, you can get rid of the damage reduction stats and go pure damage. Completely up to you, but just know that he is going to be one of the main priority targets for the enemy, and what he offers to the Cloud Wanderers is normally very valuable, so you probably don't want him just dying the moment the enemy can get to him if they can. So in that situation, and for that reason, I am building him personally as a hybrid unit with both damage and damage reduction, if of course I can get those stats. Finally, we have the mighty Ramfort, the tankiest tank in the game. Damage reduction, magic damage reduction, physical damage reduction, hit points. Ramfort, on the most part, well, not on the most part, is definitely going to start the fight off with taunt. So on the most part, the enemy is going to target him first unless they have some type of inbuilt disregard for taunting. So that's the only case. But most characters don't. initially they have to either set it up or it's through a passive or something, so he's going to normally take a few hits right off the bat. The way Ramfort works as well, additionally to his taunt, he does have a lot of inbuilt defensive abilities he can apply to himself and the team. So keep that in mind. When he's awakened, they become a lot more potent. But the moment those wear off, when his taunt wears off, he doesn't really offer a lot to the team until that taunt can come back up. And when his defensive stats are down, yeah, it can be a bit icy. But when they're up, he is honestly one of the beefiest units in the game. So if you can protect him when all his defenses are down, when his taunt is down, give him all this damage reduction, give him more hit points, he's going to be an absolute beast. And when he does have his defensive abilities, when he does have his taunt up, he's just going to be even more of a brick wall. And he is already a brick wall. You're just fortifying that. You're putting in more foundation, rebar, more cement, more bricks. This monster of a unit is just going to be absolutely unbreakable. So yeah, and the good thing about the stats on your medallions is they're not a buff. Even if the enemy is able to remove buffs from Ramfort, he's still going to have the medallion stats boosted into him. So just make him as tanky as you possibly can and reap the rewards as you see fit. But there you go. Those are the 4 new medallions we are getting for the Cloud Wanderers. I believe that completes them from memory. So, yeah, honestly, they are still a very viable squad. They are menaces in Nightmare Raid. Making them stronger is always going to help you. Some of the Cloud Wanderer nodes in Raid are some of the most difficult. So this is definitely going to boost you in strength and help you take out those nodes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're on the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.